What's up? Things are getting heating up. They're heating up. You think the market's falling? No. The market's just heating up. Things are heating up as the regulators coming to regulate. But before that, ETH has gotta doom itself, right? ETH's gotta do itself and put itself into the same position that XRP and LBRY is in. And how's it going to do that? It's going to get rid of all of its miners, which we knew was coming. Apparently, some people didn't know. I don't know if you're going to be in the crypto industry and not know that. You've been living under a rock. What's your problem? Anyways, Ethereum merged to swamp other coins with miners, mining CEO. Now, I did see earlier on CoinMarketCap that a lot of other GPU mined coins like Beam, Bitcoin Gold, Ethereum Classic, of course, and Ravencoin had all gotten a significant bump in USD. Let's say USD in price, yeah. But that came and went with the whole pump and dump that just happened. So that was like in the middle of the pump, well, right before the pump and dump. So it just kind of got erased with this latest drop in price. I'll go look at CoinMarketCap real quick. And really, they need to chill. Bitcoin's gonna struggle. It might come back to 20 grand, but it's struggling. Ethereum's not doing so well, although Ethereum holders would say they want Ethereum at $1,900. I don't really think that's realistic, to be honest with you. I think Ethereum should be like, we should start seeing $900 Ethereum. That would be more realistic at this point. And everything else is just out in the cold. If you have GPUs, you bought GPUs to mine Ethereum, it sucks. Welcome to the club. Terra Luna is up here. I don't believe I passed this in the last video. Terra Luna's up here, cutting up $2 billion. That's $2 billion of volume. How are they doing that? I don't know. It's supposed to be a bankrupt coin. I don't know anymore. This place is weird. EOS, which it's already done what Ethereum was supposed to do. It was doing pretty good. Got caught in the trap here, where everything else basically. And that's pretty much the market. Oh yeah, Zcash is supposed to be going to proof of stake at some point. Woo, again, woo. It doesn't need to. I mean, it could be the first one to go out on the limb here and says Zcash does not need to go to proof of stake. We have PIVX, we got Horizon, and you see how those are working out. That's right, not so well. And Helium, they did dig to Helium. That's going to be another video all its own. Why Helium is just falling down right now. Oh, it's coming back up a little bit, but right now it's fell pretty hard through the ranks. And I don't think you can get Dash any further down. But once again, Ravencoin was a good push up here, and Bitcoin Gold, and a couple others. But back to the article. Ethereum's merged to swamp other coins with mining CEO. The Ethereum merge could force many crypto miners to give up and abandon their expensive mining rigs amid the race to the bottom of profits. Ethereum's network transition from a proof of work consensus is likely to flood crypto industry with out of work ETH miners, causing severe disruption in the proof of work tokens. Speaking of Cointelegraph, Andy Long, CEO of Bitcoin miner White Rock, believes the upcoming Ethereum merge will force proof of work miners to look for greener pastures such as other proof of work blockchains, and thus swamp other coins, increasing mining difficulty and reducing profitability, stating, "You know what? Monero is already unprofitable." Just say. As GPU miners point their hardware at other chains, their difficulty would increase, causing low returns and splitting the rewards amongst more miners. Long added that the migration will likely force many crypto miners to give up and abandon their expensive mining rigs, or just go solar. We do innovate around here from time to time. Hash rate would flow to alternative GPU proof of work coins, and many miners would simply give up and try to sell off their farms of cards, he says. Some miners will try to sell high performance computing or GPU cloud services and will likely fail since there's too much capacity chasing a limited amount of demand. Got it. GPU prices and demand have already been declining as a result of falling Bitcoin prices, leading to some cards selling from below the list price and sellers struggling to offload their mining rigs and cards for inflated prices. Regardless of what happens after the merge, Long says he is not strongly opposed and is interested to see how market forces play out. When I was building GPU farms in 2017, the merge was cited as an imminent threat and would have been much more impactful then. There will always be GPU mining, some GPU optimized chains, but I thought there will be a return to levels of revenue seen in ETH proof of work as it peaked ever again. Ethereum has experienced a transition to proof of work, or transition to proof of stake mechanisms between September 10th and 20th. This is supposed to be the 12th, and is considered one of the most significant upgrades in the crypto market this year. Largest ETH mining pool, Ethermine, opens new ETH staking service. However, there are still many cryptocurrencies set to continue along the proof of work path, including Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, as well as Ethereum Classic, Monero, Zcash, and Ravencoin. Not so much Zcash, as I stated earlier. White Rock Management, a Switzerland-based digital asset technology company that mines cryptocurrencies through data centers located in Texas and Sweden. So, this is going to become a trend now that Ethereum has switched to switching to proof of stake. Like I said, Zcash is already switching or entertaining the ideal of switching to proof of stake, which I already stated it doesn't need to. The last bastions of proof of work are going to be Bitcoin and Litecoin. So buying a Bitcoin mining rig or a Litecoin mining rig that happens to have 5 nanometer chips would probably still be a pretty good bet when they come out. And it'll probably be in a year or so that Bitmain starts pushing those out. They probably got a few prototypes now that they're not telling anybody about that mines ridiculous amounts of Bitcoin at ridiculously efficient levels that you probably wouldn't even dream of having for like a point. There was a 0.02 joules per gigahash or something like that. But that's neither here nor there, because even with all this mining, even with all this going on, we have bigger problems, way bigger problems than Ethereum switching to proof of stake. Even though switching to proof of stake could depeg more stable coins and get rid of exchanges, like I showed in the previous video. A lot of exchanges are going offline. Smaller exchanges are going offline because they were relying on places and US pegged stable coins like Terra Luna. But even before that, Bitcoin was supposed to be traded peer-to-peer, and now that seems to be something that's going to become outlawed. I'm going to read this story and give my full opinion on that. Bitcoiner sentenced to federal prison warns user involved in OTC trading. I'm just a regular Bitcoiner caught in the crosshairs, claimed Mark Alexander Hopkins, also known as Risen, prior to serving his prison sentence. Mark Alexander Hopkins, also known as by his moniker Dr. Bitcoin, or the handle Risen, has claimed that transacting Bitcoin peer-to-peer is a federal crime. After announcing the sentence in their case to the social media followers, in a Sunday Twitter thread, Hodson said that they were facing between 6 to 15 months in a federal correctional institution in Texas, following a guilty plea for allegedly operating a crypto business without the necessary licensing. According to Risen, the United States Federal Crimes Enforcement Network, or FinCEN, used a 2019 interpretation of the law 18 U.S.C. 1960, originally enacted in 1992, to charge them with illegally operating a money transmitting business. This means that anytime anyone with a crypto trades peer-to-peer, i.e. not with an exchange, they're legally liable under the statute, as is currently interpreted, said Risen. In practice, this is a catch-all law. I was originally suspected of being a kingpin in this particular scam, and when it was clear I was not, they were able to easily build a case that I had not registered federally before selling my bitcoins. So I'm going offline for an indeterminate amount of time. I'm heading down the Bureau Mount FCI, where Uncle Sam will be footing the bill for my room and board for the next 6 to 15 months for the crime of selling Bitcoin. Bitcoin a few years ago. The Bitcoiner who said they joined the space in 2011 claimed they were one of the hundreds of thousands of OTC traders in 2019 amid a bad actor involved in an illegal lottery scheme using the trading group to launder funds with Bitcoin purchases. Risen claimed to facilitate fiat to crypto exchanges on behalf of the party, who they hinted did not know was being investigated for a crime, resulting in being targeted by the U.S. authorities. I cooperated fully with the 15 armed FBI agents who raided my home in October 2019. I wasn't able to find a crypto-fluent attorney after I was raided in 2020. I was told that if I plead to 18 U.S.C. 1960 charge, any actions against my family would be dropped. According to Risen, they were fully registered as a Bitcoin seller with FinCEN, but the Justice Department still target them based on their involvement with the illicit transactions. Acting U.S. Attorney Parag Shah said that the time that Hopkins ignored federal law and allowed fraudsters to use Bitcoin to operate under the radar of the law enforcement and did not take steps to verify the source of the funds involved in the transactions between 550,000 and 1.5 million at the time. Risen has disputed many of the Justice Department's claims, saying that they performed the proper know your customer and anti-money laundering practices. Here is the thing that makes this important to pay attention to and resolve. I'm nobody, said Risen. I'm not Ross. I wasn't on the dark web. I'm not Edward. I didn't work for the NSA. I'm not Julian. I didn't break national secrets. I'm just a regular Bitcoiner caught in the process. Prior to entering prison, the Bitcoiner called for regulatory clarity between the state and federal levels in the U.S., seemingly in an effort to ensure other crypto users do not face the same enforcement action. In much the same way that the feds and state differ on cannabis usage, the feds and the states are at odds about peer-to-peer crypto usage, said Risen. Delaware, Texas, and Wyoming are actively promoting peer-to-peer crypto usage in such a way they're manufacturing hundreds of thousands of felons like me every day. There needs to be a clarity on how to be compliant as possible, and B, ideally, a rollback of the overreaching guidance in the first place. Central Breakers. Okay. FinCEN level similar changes against California resident in 2019, alleging they willfully violated money transmission laws while working as a P2P exchanger of crypto and fiat. However, the accused in the case forced only 35 $35,000. Only faced a $35,000 fine and was barred from similar financial activities, not prison time. So that's the end of the article. And if this is the case, you could just be trading Bitcoin with your friends. And let's just say Bitcoin is tracked and traced. And some of that Bitcoin just happens to be part of some scam or some scheme. They have a history of that. The feds will come kick in your door, basically. They'll come kick in your door, search your place, and threaten your family, apparently. Because you traded into fiat. It's not the problem that Bitcoin should be traded peer-to-peer. It's the problem when you try to trade Bitcoin into fiat. Now, if you just traded fiat into Bitcoin to buy Bitcoin and then just traded Bitcoin for services back and forth, I don't think this would be much of a problem. Eventually it would, because the government is definitely going to overreach at some point. But I do think this is the boiling point. This is reaching a boiling point where they're just going to say they outlaw all cryptos, and you're just going to have to give your cryptos like they did in 1971 when they told you had to told citizens that they had to give their silver and gold to the banks. And that's my take on it. What do you guys think? Are you looking at things now? Are you looking out your door? Do you see a white van? Do you see a white van there? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys later.